Hi, welcome to Sample Saturday. My name is Liz FitzGerald and I am the Endorsed SWR trainer from Northern California. And today I am going to demonstrate dictation for some sample words that our SWR users asked to see dictated. So what I'm going to do is go through the process of demonstrating the dictation for some of our spelling words. All right, our next word is buy. The word buy, as in I'm going to go buy something, is in list L2, Wise Guide, pages 72 and 73. It is word number 548. And so in preparation to teach it, I need to look at the markings on the second side of my Wise Guide. Now this one is very interesting. I see it's written as a two-syllable word. There's a discrepancy here between the way it's shown on this side of the page and this side. Remember, this side shows me how I would find it marked in a dictionary. It's a one-syllable word. Buy. One syllable. But over here, it's listed as a two-syllable word. What's up with that? Again, let's go back to our Think to Spell as explained in Spell to Write and Read. This is Think to Spell number 10. Add a syllable for thinking to spell. That is explained for me on page 88. That is explained for me on page 88 in Spell to Write and Read. So there are times when I have some letters in a word that I don't hear when I'm pronouncing the word. So I need to exaggerate. I need to hear them when I think for spelling and then say it however I say the word. What is the letter that's spelled in this word that I don't hear in speech? And it's the letter U. So I need to do something when I go to spell this word that's going to help me lock on to that letter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag that on. The first sound, I'm going to tag it onto the B. Now, when we teach the phonograms, we really want to make sure that our students and we are saying B, B, nice and crisp. We do not want to say ba, ba. That's two sounds. That's B and We're adding a vowel. We don't want to teach that phonogram that way. But in this word, I do. Because I want to hear the because that's how the word is spelled. I'm seeing a 1 over the U, which is telling me I'm going to think it as saying its first sound. Ba. That's the first syllable. Now, what's that 1 doing there? Okay, back to my Spell to Write and Read. On page 220 in my Spell to Write and Read, page 220, I have an explanation of all the markings. And number 5 explains why I would have a number over a phonogram. And it says here, the number C, or item number C, under 5 for numbers, it says number 1 is placed above a phonogram to clarify that it is a single phonogram rather than a multi-letter phonogram one. So this is a rare marking. We do use it. Normally, if a phonogram says its first sound, we don't put a number over it. But here we're going to, because you'll see why as I teach it. So I'm going to think I. I. I'm looking, why would I say I? Well, there's a line under the Y, and that tells me that the Y is saying its second vowel sound, I. Second vowel sound is I. Okay, that's how I'm going to teach it. So here we go. Let's teach the spelling word. Pencils down, eyes on me. The word is buy. I will buy some apples at the market. Buy. We're going to think to spell I. You say it.
I.
Let's exaggerate that first syllable. I. You say it.
I.
I want to hear you exaggerate.
I.
Great. All right. How many syllables is I?
I. 2.
What's the first syllable?
I.
First syllable?
I.
Great. I. English words don't end with I. So what am I going to use here?
I.
Great. I'm going to use the stand-in vowel. Very good. One more time.
I.
Say it while you write it.
I.
Excellent. Teach it back to me. What's the word?
I.
First syllable?
I. I. I.
Does yours look like mine?
Yes, it does.
First syllable, how do I mark it?
You don't, because everything says its first sound.
Everything did say its first sound, but I have a question for you. What do we expect this letter to do at the end of a syllable?
We expect it to say its second sound.
We do. Let's say the rule together.
A, E, O, U usually say A, E, O, U at the end of a syllable.
Ah, but what did we hear it say in this word? Let's put a 1 because we're expecting it to say its second sound, but here it said its first sound, and we really want to lock that into our heads. We're going to put a 1 to help us remember that the U did not do what it usually does. How do I mark this syllable?
You underline it.
Why do I underline it?
Because
Y said I at the end of a syllable. Does Y usually say I at the end of a syllable?
No.
That's right. Let's say the rule together. I and Y usually say I at the end of a syllable, but they may say I. Great job. I.
By.
All right. The next word is build. That is in list M3. In Wise Guide, I'm on pages 88 and 89. Word 684. This is the same concept that we just covered with the word by. So this is where I'm going to add a syllable for thinking to spell. Again, I go and look. How is it marked in the Wise Guide? Ba-ild. It's listed as 2 syllables on the second side of my Wise Guide. On the first side, it's 1 syllable. That's the way it's marked in the dictionary. But for think to spell, I'm going to exaggerate something so that I can hear a letter that's spelled in the word but's not pronounced when I actually say it. So I'm going to think ba-ild. Here we go for dictation. Pencils down, eyes on me. The word is build. I want to build a shed. Build. We're going to think to spell ba-ild. You say it.
Ba-ild.
Excellent. How many syllables?
Ba-ild. 2.
Great. Say the syllables.
Ba-ild.
First syllable.
Ild. I-l-d. Ba-ild.
Say it while you write it.
B-a-ild.
Great. Teach it back to me. What's the word?
Ba-ild. B-a-ild. I-l-d. Ba-ild. Build.
Does yours look like mine?
Yes, it does.
First syllable. How do I mark it?
You don't mark it because everything said its first sound.
Great. But what are we expecting this U to do?
You say you at the end of a syllable.
Ah, but did it do that in this word?
No, it did not.
So I need to remember it said its first sound. That's unusual for here, but we know that that's a possibility. You usually says you at the end of a syllable. Didn't here, so let's mark it with a 1. So put a 1 over your It said its first sound. How do I mark the second syllable?
You don't, because everything said its first sound.
Great. One more time. Think to spell.
Ba-ild.
The word?
Build.
Great. Okay, the word built was requested. That is exactly like build. It doesn't come up until word number 936, which is on page 115, which is list N8. I would teach it exactly the same way, only I would make sure that my student heard a clear t. So ba-ilt. And I would exaggerate that. So it's the same way as build. The next word is the word wood. And so I'm looking in my Wise Guide. I am in section K3 on pages 58 and 59. The word wood. I'm doing my prep ahead of time and I look at it and I see that there's a multi-letter phonogram underlined. Got it. There's an X over it. What does that mean? And there's a double underline under the L. All right, what does that tell me? So first of all, what is the X? So I'm going to go to my think to spell and my spell to write and read. An X is explained in the back when you look at page 220. The markings are explained. And when do I use an X? An X is placed over a phonogram in place of a number when the phonogram makes a distinctly different sound from the sound we taught with the phonogram. So here, the multi-letter phonogram, ow, o, oo, is saying ow, o, oo, It's not one of the four sounds. So it's an exception for that phonogram sound. If I look at my think to spell explanation, number 3 says deal with exception words. And you will see these very clearly explained for you in Spell to Write and Read, starting at the bottom of page 80 and on page 81 and the top of page 82. And in fact, the words should, would, and could are all explained there for you. Okay, so I'm going to put an X over a phonogram when it doesn't say a sound I'm expecting it to say. Now, what about the double L? Well, that's a silent letter. So again, for thinking to spell, I need to hear it. That is, again, a think to spell. And that would be a number 6, sound out silent letters. And that is explained in in the think to spell section. Sound out silent letters starts on the bottom of page 85 and goes all the way to the very top of page 87. So that's explained there for you. So here is the word, how I would teach. I would start with shall, and then I go into the word should, then would, then could. I'm just going to demonstrate would. All right, here we go. Pencils down, eyes on me. The word is would. I would like you to pay attention. Would. We're going to think to spell wold. Wold. You say that.
Wold.
Great. Sound it out for me.
W, o, d. Wood. Wold.
Wold. Good. Use ow, o, oo, One more time. Wold. Say it while you write it.
W, o, d.
Great. Teach it back to me. What's the word?
Wold. W, o, d. Wold.
Great. Starting at the beginning of the word, tell me how to mark it.
Underline the because it's a multi-letter phonogram.
Great. Now, let's think about that for a moment. Is that one of the sounds that this phonogram says? Let's say the sounds. Ow, o, oo, Ow, o, oo, And it's saying Is that one of those sounds?
No.
So we're going to put an X because it's an exception for one of the sounds we're expecting that phonogram to say. Keep going. What do I do next?
You double underline the l.
Why did I do that?
Because it is a silent letter.
It is a silent. We don't say wold. We say would. We're going to think wold for spelling, but we don't hear it in speech. So it is a silent letter. So what's the word one more time and think to spell?
Wold.
But we say
would.
Great. The next question was about the word 12th. And Patricia wanted to know about this because she said her students were always struggling over this. Notice the word 12th is taught with the word 12. And in fact, if you were to teach this on the numbers page, you would put the two of them on the page probably at the same time. So I'm going to actually teach both of these, 12 and then 12th, so that you can hear the difference in how I teach them. So here we go. So first I do my prep and I look at, is there anything special about these words? Nope, they're pretty straightforward with the markings. So I don't need to do any kind of special think to spell, but the fact that I have a V in one and a F in the very next one, I want to exaggerate that so I get correct spelling. So that's not exaggerating within a word, but two words right next to each other. So watch how I do it. Pencils down, eyes on me. The word is 12. Jesus had 12 disciples. 12. Say the word.
12.
Great. How many syllables?
12. 1.
Sound it out.
T, w, e, o, v. Sound finally.
Great job. Say it while you write it.
T, w, e, o, v. Sound finally.
Teach it back to me. What's the word?
12. T, w, e, o, v, silent final E. 12.
Does yours look like mine?
Yes.
All right, start at the beginning of the word and tell me how to mark it.
You underline the v, because English words don't end with v.
Good, and that's what made the E necessary. Excellent job. What else do I do?
You double underline the E.
Why?
Because it is a silent letter, and you put a little 2 next to it, because it is the second type of silent final E.
Very good, very good. 12. Pencils down. Eyes on me. The next word is 12th. There were 11 people in front of me, so that means I was the 12th person in line. 12th. I want to hear you say that.
12th.
Great. And listen to how I say that at the end of the word. Let's practice that. You say it. Great. One more time. 12th.
12th.
Great. All right. How many syllables?
12th. 1.
Sound it out.
T, w, e, o, f.
I need 2 hands for this one. All right. Say the word.
12th.
Say it while you write it.
T, w, e, o, f.
Great. Teach it back to me. What's the word?
12th.
Sound it out.
T, w, e, o, f. 12th.
Does yours look like mine?
Yes.
Start at the beginning of the word. How do I mark it?
You underline the th because it's a multi-letter phonogram.
Excellent job.